Imagine walking through a barren, sun-scorched wasteland. The heat is relentless, the wind stirs up clouds of dust, and the landscape stretches for miles in every direction. Suddenly, movement, a flash of feathers, a flicker of something darting between the rocks. This is a land ruled by patience, speed, and deadly precision. A place where only the most adaptable hunters survive. And 75 million years ago, that hunter was the Velociraptor. They were not the towering, scaly monsters from Jurassic Park, but something far more fascinating, small, fast, intelligent, and deadly in their own way. But what if, against all odds, these creatures somehow found themselves in our modern world? Could they still dominate the land as they once did? Or has Earth moved on, leaving them behind? In today's video, we're asking an important question. Could Velociraptors survive today? To understand whether Velociraptors could survive today, we first need to know what kind of world they originally lived in. Velociraptors lived during the late Cretaceous period, about 75 million years ago, in what is now Mongolia and China. Unlike the dense jungles and swamps often associated with dinosaurs, their world was a harsh, arid landscape. Think of the Gobi Desert, but slightly more hospitable, dotted with occasional streams, patches of vegetation, and just enough life to support an ecosystem of predators and prey. Temperatures would have been extreme, much like today's deserts, with scorching days and cooler nights. Water sources were limited, and survival depended on adaptation, agility, and, above all, strategy. Despite their small size, about 6.5 feet, 2 meters long and 1.5 feet, 0.5 meters tall at the hip, Velociraptors were formidable hunters. Fossil evidence suggests they preyed on a variety of animals, including lizards, small mammals, birds, and other small dinosaurs. One of their most well-known prey was Protoceratops, a small horned dinosaur that also called prehistoric Mongolia home. This was likely a more dangerous target, as shown in a famous fossil where a velociraptor was locked in a deadly struggle with one. Unlike larger theropods like Tyrannosaurus rex, which relied on sheer power, Velociraptors were built for speed and agility. They likely hunted in short bursts, using cover to get close before striking. One of the biggest myths about Velociraptors is that they were hyper-intelligent, almost human-like in their problem-solving skills. While they were smarter than many other dinosaurs, they were probably closer to modern birds of prey, intelligent enough to strategize, but not quite at Jurassic Park levels of door-opening genius. Their brains were relatively large for their body size, suggesting strong hunting instincts, social behaviors, and possibly even pack hunting, though evidence of pack hunting, like wolves, is still limited. One of Velociraptor's most iconic features was its large, retractable sickle claw on each foot, measuring about 2.5 inches, 6.5 centimeters long. But what was it really used for? Some scientists believe it was used to pin down struggling prey, much like how modern hawks grip their meals. Others suggest it was used for slashing attacks, though tests on fossil bones show it may not have been strong enough to cut deeply through thick hide. Another theory is that Velociraptors may have used it for climbing, either to pounce from above or to navigate rocky terrain. Regardless of its exact function, the claw was a crucial part of Velociraptor's hunting strategy, one that would be put to the test if they had to compete in today's world. They were small, fast, intelligent, and lethal in their own way. But could these same traits help them survive in the 21st century? If Velociraptors had a chance to survive in today's world, the best environment for them wouldn't be a dense jungle or a humid swamp. It would be the Gobi Desert. This vast, arid landscape is not only where Velociraptor fossils were first discovered, but remains one of the most unchanged environments since the late Cretaceous. The same stretches of sand dunes, rocky outcrops, and dry riverbeds that once supported Velociraptors and their prey still exist today, making it the most realistic place for them to adapt. Unlike large dinosaurs that relied on massive kills, Velociraptors likely specialized in hunting smaller animals, scavenging, and using their intelligence to outmaneuver prey rather than overwhelming it with force. Recent fossil evidence suggests they had a keen sense of smell and sharp eyesight, making them highly effective desert hunters. If they were introduced to the modern Gobi, their best strategy for survival would be to target the same kinds of prey they once did: small mammals, birds and reptiles. The desert is home to rodents like gerbils, jerboas and pikas, all of which would be perfect targets. Ground-dwelling birds, such as partridges and sandgrouse, would also be vulnerable to an ambush. They might even hunt lizards and small snakes, just as their Cretaceous ancestors likely did. Scavenging would also be a key survival tactic, taking advantage of carcasses left behind by larger predators. However, Velociraptors wouldn't have the desert to themselves. They would have to compete with predators that have spent millions of years perfecting their survival strategies. Corsac foxes and red foxes are highly efficient hunters, thriving on the same small mammals that Velociraptors would rely on. The Pallas's cat, a small but effective predator, specializes in catching rodents and birds while being perfectly adapted to the harsh climate. Birds of prey such as eagles and hawks would not only compete for food, but could also pose a threat to young or injured Velociraptors. The greatest challenge wouldn't just be competition, but the extreme climate. Summers in the Gobi can be blisteringly hot, while winters bring temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius. However, unlike cold-blooded reptiles, Velociraptors were likely warm-blooded, meaning they could generate their own body heat much like modern birds and mammals. Their feathers would have provided insulation, helping them endure colder conditions. To survive the harshest months, they might have sought shelter in rocky crevices, reduced their activity in winter, or even followed migrating prey to more temperate regions. As for whether they could coexist with humans, it's unlikely they would pose much of a threat. Despite their fearsome reputation, Velociraptors were far smaller than humans and would likely behave more like modern wildcats or foxes, avoiding people whenever possible. However, they might target livestock such as chickens or young goats, which could bring them into conflict with herders. On the other hand, if humans saw them as a threat, they might become the hunted rather than the hunters, much like what happened to the thylacine in Australia, which was persecuted to extinction after being deemed a threat to livestock. So, could Velociraptors survive in the modern world? In the right environment, with enough prey and minimal human interference, they might stand a chance. But nature has moved on, and the desert's current predators have a significant advantage. While Velociraptors were once among the most formidable hunters of their time, today they would be just another competitor fighting to survive in a harsh and unforgiving world. So what do you think? Could Velociraptors survive in today's wilderness? If so, where would you like to see them introduced? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.